So the question is, who will be first to 100 on your server? And then last thing I kind of want to go over tonight is cores and core crafting. Um, it's kind of a pain in the ass. I'm not going to go through all the skills. You do need to make sure you have your skill set for this. You need to have your research done. If you don't have your research done for your cores, and probably most of those are going to be in core crafting, you have to have these done. You have to have your core mastery done. You really need your crafting tree completely filled out. You're going to want to set your skills and set your presets for your skills accordingly. All right. And actually, let me pull back. I'm gonna jump in here, and I'm gonna pull back my gathering troops just so I can change gear here. All right. And so if I jump on here, and I've been using the Power Forge gear. I think it's the right gear for this. I don't think I've put gems in it. I don't know if there's any gems that really make sense for it. Let me see where it's at. Looking for Power Forge. So Power Forged. And we really should be leveling this gear all the way up. I thought I'd already leveled it. Okay, so it's level 100. So it's at the max level. I don't have the individual pieces pushed forward. So let's look at what it takes to get the individual pieces pushed forward. So you're gonna want your Power Forge gear. You want to go into the forge, and inside of that, Power Forge already set 100. We're good to go there. But what we want to do now is power up the individual pieces. And I'm just looking for the green highlights. So I've got this individual piece, and we want to just power this up. So just real quick, we're going to power this up. And then get this to full. And you can see this is increasing my crafting speed. And it's reducing the costs as well, right? I'm going to go ahead and do this for all of the pieces. So again, you want your Power Forge set if you have it. If not, you probably want your Blacksmith set. If you don't have Blacksmith or Power Forge, you probably don't want to be spending money to do cores right now anyways. You want to do the gear set level to 100. You want to do each individual piece to 25. Just going to go ahead and blow through this really quick. And so we did the weapon, we're going to do the helmet. Let's power this guy up. Like I said, we're going to get through all these real quick, and then I'm going to show you how to build a core. This looks like it also does cost reduction and crafting speed. When we get done with this, I'll go out to the full set and take a look at what's out there. Hopefully one of those VIP levels makes a power up a one click, because clicking this 25 times gets old real quick. Do the breastplate. Go ahead and go through these 25. And blow right through these. And I actually want to create a, well, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and bounce out of this just so I can show you guys core, not waste your guys' time. and we'll come back to this. So if I go over to my forge, a couple of different things. This works like everything else. You've got, if you go into cores and pieces, you have cores. You have all your cores listed here. Okay. And you can see some of these are blacked out. It's because you can only have so many cores available to you at one time, or cores and pieces available to you at one time. So in your inventory, you have to swap them out. So you're going to see a lot of core swap issues, and we'll talk about that. So same thing here, you can do master combine, right? So if we go out and we go to combine, you've got cores, you can master combine, or you can combine cores. You have pieces, you can master combine or combine. So I'm going to go ahead and master combine. Again, level 6 to everything, makes sense. You're going to get core pieces from packs, from chests, you name it. And then we've got our individual cores here. Okay, so now if we go back, so I've combined everything. I've got everything to the top level that I can get. I go into my cores and my pieces, and I can look at everything in my bag, right? The ones that are highlighted are active. The ones that are not highlighted are not active, which means I don't have access to them. I can't use them unless I swap them. It's going to cost me money to swap them, right? And now if I go all the way to the right and I can see my cores, I can actually see what cores I have the pieces for, right? Where I actually have a full set. Right now, you can do individual pieces and do core recipes, secret core recipes. I'm not going to talk about all that right now. I'm just going to talk about the cores, the standard cores, right? So if I want a Nyx core, okay, right now you can see I can't click on these. They're grayed out. Okay, these ones are not grayed out. So let's look at the difference of that. So if I go to my Moneta core set and I look at it, you can see it shows me what the set is, what the bonus for that, all the information for this particular one is. I can look at the set details, right, and it will show me the gear leveling for it. It will show me the bonuses for the gear leveling. It will show me the bonuses for the set bonus, just like every other piece of gear. Now, one thing that is a little different on the set leveling and on the piece leveling, that applies to cores, and it applies to all the cores. So if we go back over here to the forge, all right, and we do set gear leveling, you'll notice that there's core sets. I can do my attack cores, or I can do my wonder cores, and those, it applies to all of them. So if I go and I max this out to level 200, it's going to apply to every core that I make. Okay, and in power up, you have to do the power ups when you create the cores, and I'll show you how that works. Right. So if we go over back to the forge, or back to the forge, I'm sorry, and we look at craft core equipment, and we go down to, well, actually, let's go back to cores and pieces. If we go to cores and pieces, we go all the way to the right. You can now see these cores, right? And we look at them, and like I said, highlighted means they're available. Not highlighted means they're not available to me, and I have to do a swap, okay? Now let's take a look. If we were to actually go to try to craft it, we go into craft core equipment. We've got cores and we've got pieces. Okay, so the way that this works is you start with a core. So I put a core in, and then I add pieces to that core. You know, up to 6 pieces for that core. Okay, and it's going to then let me create, gives me all of the information about that particular core piece. Now, that would be if I'm doing some random core, I'm doing a single piece, which is not what we're doing here. What we're doing here is we're going to build a core set, not an individual item. So if we go all the way to the right to the core set, you can see we have each one of these pieces. So if I do VIP craft set, it's going to show me everything that's required to create the pieces, right? I need 1 belt core, 1 mail core, 1. You can see it says 0 of 1, 0 of 1, 0 of 1. I don't have any of these items, right? I just don't have them, so I can't craft this. But I do have them. I just need to swap them. So this is where the whole swap comes in. So if I wanted to create this, right? And I said, go click this. You get this core is locked and must be swapped before use. I don't know what that means. I'm stuck. This is where most people, this is where it's done for them. They just say, cores are too hard. I'm done. I'm out. Uncle, I give up. So what you're going to do is you're going to go back to your core. You're going to go back to your core and pieces. Inside your core and pieces, you're going to go to your core set. You're going to go find the core set that you want. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and just do the Nix core set. Okay, oops. So, sorry, fat thumb that. So we go to core and pieces. We go to the cores, and we're going to go down to, actually, let's just do Oceanus, right? So we're going to do Oceanus. We're going to click into this. It's going to say this item cannot be used until you free up some slots. You can purchase an item to swap this for an unlocked one. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to click swap. It's going to now say, okay, which thing do you... I'm just going to go pick some level 1 cores that I don't really care about. I can always swap them back, so it's not that big of a deal. So I'm just going to click swap. It's going to cost me 800 gold. Boom. Swapped out. Done. Okay, so now I go back. Oh, look, it's highlighted. We're just going to do that for each individual item. So it's going to cost you some gold to do this, but in reality, 800 gold is... if you're building cores, 800 gold is not a problem for you, right? If you're stressing out on 800 gold, you probably don't have any business building a core set in reality, right? I'm just going to go ahead and swap each one of these out. Oops, I don't know why that failed. Can't do two things at one time. Okay, so we're going to swap, and then we're going to pick something to swap. We're going to pay to swap it, and we're going to rinse and repeat. Okay, and now we have all of our Oceanus cores ready. Okay, so bam, all of those cores are ready. If we go to pieces, we go to core set for the pieces, we go to Oceanus core set. You can see all of these are also grayed out, so we're going to have to swap for each one of those as well, right? And we're just going to go ahead, we're going to go ahead and swap. Those are 400 per swap. Oops, go to pieces, swap. And so this takes a little bit of time, but like I said, you can always swap those pieces back out later. It'll cost you money to do it, but you know, if you're not using them for the cores that you're doing, and that's why I generally do the like level 1 or level 2 items. Is I tend to have less of them if I just did a combine on it. And I'm just going to swap each one of these out. And we're just going to keep going. And about half done with this. I'm just going to keep going. Now, there's some people that will say on some of these core pieces, if you're not rallying for the wonder, you're not rallying for the end of the world, you might go create some core sets that are level 4 or level 5. Maybe they don't have to be level 6. They're going to hit really damn hard. Even at a level 4 or level 5, they're still going to hit. Now, probably wouldn't do my sets that way, but if I were doing some individual pieces, you know, you can certainly experiment, and you never know what you're going to get. You can look up some special secret recipes as well that might give you some individual pieces that do a lot more than you would think, even though they're not part of a full set. I know that there are some folks that are running a full set and pulling one piece out of the set, so they still get the 5-set bonus, but they put in a secret recipe, and the recipe for the single item more than makes up for the 7-set bonus that they would pick up. So you know, you do want to play around with these a little bit and figure out what works. I think at least to start with, if you're doing these to start out with, I think just sticking with the standard core sets are a pretty good way to go. You know they're designed to hit hard, and you're going to be able to really compete. Now they do get kind of expensive. But that's why you want all of your research done. That's why you want all of your skill tree set. That's why you want to be in PowerForge gear that's completely leveled. Is it's going to give you a ton of bonuses. A, it's going to reduce the cost. B, it's going to speed up the time it takes to make it. But it's really going to give you core duration bonuses, which are where it's really at. I mean, if a core normally lasts for 40 minutes and you're getting a 200% buff, and now this thing's going for 2 hours, that's a pretty big difference in cost if you're going to go out and rally for 2 hours, right? If you're going to go defend the Wonder, you don't want to have to change your gear 9 times to do that. You want to be able to do that in one or two gear sets. All right, so I think we have all of the pieces now. Let me verify. Okay, we have all the pieces lit up. We go to the core. We have all the core lit up. We have Oceanus core. We should now be able to build that core. So if we go to craft core equipment and we go to cores and we go down to Oceanus, and oh, look at that, they're all lit up. I could go individually for each one of these, and you see how this core gets put into there, and I could go pick the pieces, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do VIP craft set. I'm going to look. I've got all green arrows here. It means we're totally good to go. This thing is ready to rock and roll. I'm going to click craft. It's going to take that amount of silver from me. It's going to say, hey, you need more slots in your bag. Open them up. I'm going to do that. Okay. And now I'm going to craft. And I don't know why it didn't craft those. Let me look here. I don't know if it just needed more slots. Oh, it's because it thinks I'm trying to do 4 of those, I think. Well, let's do this. Okay, so now you see it's crafting it. Okay, it's got 191 days on it. If we go and click in this, it's going to give us the stats for it. Right, we're going to go ahead and just speed that up. 191 days, so we're just going to go to like 150, and then there's probably a 40 out there. And of course, I could have just done 200 and made this really quick, but I don't know. I tend to be a little bit anal about my speed ups most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. I try to do what makes the absolute cheapest to do. All right. And this core set should be done. Okay, now it's done. I've received all these pieces. I can assign a gym preset to it. I don't have a preset that that I really want to set to this. I was an idiot. Well, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and throw Maximus into it, I guess. But I am kind of idiot. I didn't have my Mythical Divine or similar setup. So you can just go ahead and click this and it'll pop that into the gym set. Oh, I guess I have Ultimate Divine here, so, well, let's do this. Let's click gym set and we'll do Ultimate Divine. And we'll call this Ultimate Divine. If I already had this set up, I could just use it. I wouldn't have to set it up like this, but all right. And so that's preset 6. So if we go out here, we're going to just choose preset 6, Ultimate Divine. Hero preset, oops, I want to cancel that. I don't have a preset for this yet, so I'm going to go ahead and do Hero preset. I think this was Oceanus gear, correct? So we're just going to do Oceanus core. There's a new one here. And we're going to go ahead and save that and have to go all the way back down to it again. And we've got the Oceanus core. We're going to go ahead and set our skills into it. And I think we have like fight 2 or something. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and equip that for now. We can change this. But what this is doing is now every time I build this core set, I'm able to just apply these elements to this. Okay, we don't have the equipment set, but we're just going to go ahead and say equip this. All right, and now it's inside of uh, 29. We're going to confirm 29. And this VIP power up, this is where when we click this VIP power up, that's going to go ahead and do all of the VIP, the power up leveling for the individual pieces. So I'm just going to go ahead and click this, and you can see it's going to show the requirements required to do it and what the benefits are. I VIP powered up. It's now done that. I've got my presets set there. I'm going to apply my presets. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And now I have that gear done, locked, and loaded. So now if I go to my inventory and I look at, I should, if things went well, should be able to go to 29 here. And bam, I have all my equipment and everything's ready to go. I didn't really want to do that. Stupid. Because now that core is burning. So let me see what we got. So you have to be careful there. That was a mistake I made. I forgot. You can see the countdown timer. This core is now starting to burn. I don't know if I pop out of that gear, whether it's going to save that core or not. Let's hope that it does. I don't think that it does, but let's go ahead and put the Valiant Knight in. And now if we were to go look at, what I meant to do was to go look at my inventory to see, so I really meant to do this, to go look at what that inventory is. And you can see it's still counting down. So that core is going to be wasted, right? So I just built that core. It's going to go in the trash in an hour and 20 minutes, okay? But that's how you do it. That's how you build a core set. Don't be a dummy like me. Don't equip it until you're ready to use it. I now have a core, so I'm going to get off and see if I can go rally somebody while I've got this nice core piece on. And that's it for today.